This jungle cactus that I have hanging here is called a Rhipsalis paradoxa. And I believe it's called paradoxa for the way that the stems kind of like twist upon one another. So some of the stems are facing one way and the other part of the stem is facing a different way, which actually makes this a really interesting plant. So I got this probably a little less than 2 years ago, maybe for a year and a half that I've had this, and I'm growing it directly in a northeast facing window in a little hanging basket, as you could see. And I have this in a pretty well draining mix, so something that's a little bit heavier in bark and perlite. And that's because these jungle cactus are a little bit more of an epiphytic species, meaning that they're growing on something else, like a tree, typically in the jungle. And this particular one is native to Southeast Brazil, and it's growing under the forest canopy. So it's getting this nice, diffuse, kind of gentle light. So giving this a little bit more of a partial shade, or like how I'm growing it in my northeast facing window, which is nice, gentle light throughout the day, is going to be perfect for these particular plants. Now, as far as fertilizing goes, they are not heavy feeders. So if you are doing like a succulent fertilizer, like a 2,4,7 or a 3,4,7, something of that nature, on a quarterly basis, then they're going to be pretty darn happy. As far as humidity goes, they are from the subtropical to tropical environments, so they do love a little humidity, a little bit more moderate or high humidity. I have this growing in my bathroom, so it is a little bit more humid. It's a small bathroom, so it gets humid after a hot shower. But because this is a little bit more of a succulent nature, it's not going to totally be offended if you're not growing it in more moderate or high humidity at all. What else can I tell you about this? Other than, pests, I haven't had any problems with pests on this particular plant or Rhipsalis in general. So if you don't have a tremendous amount of light in your house, you want something that is typically a non-fussy plant, then I would take a look at Rhipsalis, and even at this one, Rhipsalis paradoxa, for just how interesting the stems are.